and I probably speak for all three of us, I am tired of talking about this. I am tired of talking about murder. I am tired of talking about rape. I am tired of talking about sex trafficking. I'm tired of talking about people stealing money from children trying to eat breakfast. I'm tired of it. And yeah, point the finger. Point it at one guy, point it at the other one, do that. But you know what? Society is sick, and I am sick of talking about it. It is every week now.
Every week.
And we start at the president. We try to shoot the president, and then we're going down to setting the governor of Pennsylvania's house on fire, and now we're assassinating the Speaker of the House in Minnesota and her family, and now Charlie Kirk, who's conservative activist and commentator, and it's going to keep getting lower and lower until we're essentially talking about the Farmington City Council. And it's ridiculous and it's sad, and society is in free fall right now, and I'm tired of defending it and talking about it because it's too much.
Yeah. So what we found out in the last few hours, first, of course, news broke that Charlie Kirk was speaking in Utah. He has free speech rallies where he goes to colleges, he goes to areas, and he does what he calls debating, right?
Yeah.
He has people come up and sort of debate him on a variety of issues.
For those of you who don't know Charlie Kirk is a conservative commentator. As I said, he started Turning Point USA
when he was 18.
It's a conservative youth organizing.
Very, very, very tied in with President Trump. But what he does, which is interesting, is he goes from college campus to college campus. And the name of his tour, this was actually the first stop of the new tour, but it's the Prove Me Wrong tour. So much like this podcast, what people are going to balk at this and I don't care, but what he's doing is he is encouraging debate. Instead of echo chambers where the left talks to the left and the right talks to the right, he is trying to bring people together. Maybe for some, to celebrate the differences or one side or the other. But that's still good.
No,
it's still good.
I hope people don't balk at it because I have appreciated the platforms and places that he has gone to speak to, including Governor Newsom. He was scheduled to have a debate at the end of the month with Hassan Piker, who is a liberal commentator that I've really appreciated over the years. He started with the Young Turks and now is just an independent. And they were going to have a debate at Dartmouth. I was like, it is wonderful. This is and it's the fabric of our nation, of our civil society, of our political society is debate, and another week, another assassination. America has gone through some really, really dark chapters and come out on the other side, but it does feel like we are in a very dark chapter again.
And as of, we're doing this at about 4:45 Central Time in Minnesota. At this point,
on Wednesday the
10th. At this point, they thought they had somebody it was at least being reported that they had somebody in custody. It now appears that person at least is not the only person that they are looking for. So we don't know.
Yeah, they don't have anyone in custody.
Yeah, we don't know what the motivations are yet by who the person is. We're all gonna make suppositions, and I just encourage people to wait until we actually know. But it's immaterial a little bit because this is happening just action reaction, and nobody's gonna win this. No. Society feels like it is already lost because we're getting desensitized to it, and
you get, so a couple things. So I want to highlight, he's the father of two. He's got two adorable little children and a wife. That's who he leaves behind. He's 31 years old. Certainly in that short amount of time and at a very early age, whatever side of the aisle you're on, you have to admire or at least respect the abilities and talents of Charlie Kirk. He was able to really harness and go into a space with a conservative voice that very few people have been able to go, and really make, you know, such immediate from President Trump on down. There are folks paying deep. President Trump, former President Biden. I mean, I've seen a long list of the highest vote electeds in the land, you know, calling out and acknowledging and mourning the death of this man at 31. So an incredible life that came about really just talking to people. And I just, like you said, Brian, I don't even know what to say anymore. You can't go on Twitter because there is just a morass of people arguing, right?
It's a cesspool,
right?
And
it's
it
just
is
the
unhelpful.
grossest thing said. Yeah. The grossest thing said, assumptions made on all sides, right? Both sides making assumptions, both sides calling each other out for, you know, okay, now this one is yours, right? In the end, you have deranged individuals. And I'll say this, and I said this when Melissa Hortman was assassinated. I'm going to say this. We talked about with the Annunciation shooting, and the shooter there had, you know, killed Donald Trump written on his magazines for his guns. If you are participating in an us and them, or they are evil, or whatever you're doing with your political rhetoric, if you are not just speaking about your values and speaking about differences in opinions, but if you are making the political debate about one or the other side being evil or the enemy or at war or whatever you're doing, you are part of the problem. These people hear that. People that are unwell hear that, and they take it as a license or an excuse or whatever to rush out and do really heinous, awful things. And I am not saying people that say those things are all going to start shooting up and killing, but you contribute to it. You need to take your political rhetoric down. I have been a lifelong conservative. I grew up a Republican and a conservative in a Republican and conservative family. Goes back to FDR and my grandpa who didn't agree with him. And I will stand by my principles every day. And I have wonderful friends on the other side of the aisle. And we disagree vehemently on the issues and the policies and the ways to solve the problems of the United States. But we love the United States and we want to see things done. And I want to continue to have them as friends and continue a friendly debate. And if you are approaching the political landscape in any other way, you are doing it wrong, and you are in a small way responsible for this kind of violence. You have to stop it. You have to stop yourself. You have to check yourself, and not just, you know, and everyone, right on from political leaders on down the line. I'm calling you all out. Stop it.
No, if you have a platform, you have a responsibility. If you are dehumanizing the language of the theys and the them and the this and the us versus it builds and it builds, and the online nature and the connected information that we have so easily, and we can just scroll and scroll and scroll and get so, and then, you know, if your algorithm on your YouTube channel just puts you down into these tubes of, you know, just on this bender essentially of feeding that reptilian brain that just loves that. It lacks so much. It lacks critical thought. It lacks,
and in the end, what we've got is the father of two beautiful children is dead. A mother and a father of two lovely grown adult children and their golden retriever are dead. And we are all needing to be responsible for that. We all need to answer for this.